we have to start with some of the saddest news in wrestling, of course, to start off with, and it's the death of Kevin Nash's son, Tristan Nash, at the age of 26, I believe. He suffered a heart attack after having a seizure as a result of alcoholism. I don't know if you would have ever met Tristan or how much time you spent with Kevin.
Oh, I spent a lot of time with Kevin. We used to ride together, spend a lot of time, and he would talk about him sparingly. Now, when I was riding with him, Tristan had to be just 1 or 2 years old, maybe. And I don't think he would, because he didn't have any problems at that time because he was too young. But I heard later that he had some problems with his. Tristan was his name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he brought his name up. I just couldn't remember it. But and Kevin at one time had trouble with the bottle. And if you ever get around him, he's hilarious and a good guy. And I really hate that he lost his son. I mean, that's one of the. I don't think a parent should ever lose a child. The child can expect to lose the parent, but the parent losing a child, or in my case, a grandchild, it's heartbreaking and it's emotional. So, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But I never heard anything about Tristan after Kevin kind of stopped circulating around. But so he had a stroke.
He, excuse me,
had a heart attack.
Yeah, he had a heart attack from a seizure. As when I've written here as a result of alcoholism. Apparently, I'm sort of inferring this partly from what Kevin has said, that when you go cold turkey, because he was struggling to stay off it, and he also spent 60 days in the hospital earlier this year for more health issues related to alcohol. But apparently going cold turkey, you are in increased risk of having a seizure up to 72 hours after sort of just cutting alcohol out your system entirely.
I wonder why. I would have no idea why.
I think it's just a huge shock to the system. So if you're sort of topping your body up constantly with a substance and then you cut it off completely, then it can be a shock to the system.
Well, very sad that it happened. And Kevin, if you ever hear this, my condolences to you and your wife. Beautiful wife. I met her, I think, a time or two, not much. Kevin kept his family away from the business, by and large, which I think most guys should. Maybe not in today's environment. Today's environment's really been cleaned up. Years ago, it was like a drunk circus. So you don't know who you're going to meet. But that's one of the sad stories in wrestling. But my condolences to you, Kevin.
Kevin described the business as the pirate ship, and you don't want your family to know how much fun being on the road can be, sort of thing. Because as soon as they see what the pirate ship's like, then they go, "Oh, I see. This is why you're sort of exposing them to sort of the more fun elements of wrestling that maybe you don't want them to know about."
Well, it may be fun elements to the guys. It's not a fun element to the wife because you don't know what he's doing or who he's doing it with, what he's being exposed to. And I don't think this wrestlers don't want their families to see how much fun they're having. I don't want their families to see what kind of debauchery they've been engaged in more than anything else. So, and a lot of guys won't even let their wives come around, which I fully support that. Because when you get a bunch, and I've seen it, when you get a bunch of wives coming to the matches, they all sit together during the matches. And what do women do more than anything else? Talk. And they talk and talk and talk. And pretty soon you got a problem. And I have been in some territories where it got so out of hand, they banned the wives completely from coming to the matches.
Bill Watts did, didn't he?
Bill Watts, and I think North Carolina did it, Mid Atlantic did it, Florida did it, because of that the problem they would create. Because after a while, the fans know who the wives are, and they're watching them almost as much as watching in the ring. Because now you got a powder keg that's about ready to go off, and fans, they love that. And who knows what they were contributing to it to get it to explode. Who knows? But anyway, some territories, instead of dealing with it, they just ban the wives coming to the matches with the husbands.
Yeah, I can imagine wives comparing notes might become problematic for certain wrestlers.